Okay, so every talk should start with a setback, a technical one. And I started at software in my education, and today I'm an artist. And the way it all happened was through making, basically. And the first projects that I came out with to the world were done with Jonathan Rubin and Asaf Talmudi, and a musician. And one of them was a robotic drumming circle, which was done for the Biennale, Architectural Biennale in Bat Yam in Israel. It involved 18 darbuka drums. Each drum had 2 robotic sticks playing on it, and that's the way it looked at the studio just after connecting everything. Each drumstick is controlled separately, so we have 36 channels that are controlled in real time. And we had musicians coming, writing their own sequences and playing with us. We'll see that soon. And that's how it looked at the Biennale. We actually joined 2 architects who built a green pavilion where they produced energy, green energy from the wind and the sun, and we actually wanted to show the use of this green energy in a way that will make people stop by and get involved and ask questions. So we mounted these drums on the electricity poles at the pavilion and gave people the opportunity to write their own beats through an iPad. Many of my projects deal with printing and writing text, and that's one of the first ones. That's a cellular graffiti printer. It uses all the information you have on your cell phone and prints it through 7 felt markers on physical walls. So here I make a check-in on my physical wall at my studio. I wanted to show the overexposure we have in our when we show our personal lives on the virtual walls, and that was the way I did it. Another painting machine was built for DLD about 3 years ago, I think. And this machine takes acrylic paint and drips it on a canvas. It has 1 motion axis and 4 pumps that pump paints to the canvas. And here I use the information taken from Google Trends, which is a tool by Google that allows you to find the frequency of searches of words along the years. So I make searches, queries over words, and each word is represented by a different color, and eventually we start with a very precise information, a numerical one, and get a very random result, which it looks like a person made it. And then I wanted to make it bigger. So I made a 2D printer, very similar, but with 2 axes. The machine is hanged here from the ceiling. The canvas lies below. And it uses information from sound, from music, which is translated into positions and combinations of paint in a live performance. This was the opening event of Fresh Paint Art Fair 2 years ago, and we had musicians coming and playing. This was also in collaboration with Asaf Talmudi, and we had the musician Shlomi Shaban playing his piano. And you can see him playing and watching the canvas. So he wants to get a visual effect as well as the auditory effect when he plays. He got to play with that a bit before the concert and to learn this mapping. The mapping was made from parameters of the sound to parameters of the machine. Confession machine. It was a part of a group exhibition dealing with confessions, and I took text from Facebook, from statuses of my friends that had some confessional value in them. I was the judge of what is a confession. It was selected offline. And the machine actually prints these texts in a way that they are written and then they fade away while they're written. You can hardly read the entire sentence and then it fades, just like the Facebook feed. I use here a material that is sensitive to ultraviolet light, and when it is exposed to the light, it changes the color to blue, and then it gets back to its normal color. This is my sand printer. It etches on sand and prints the digital designs on it. A variation of it is actually presented at the project hangar just here, which takes water and paints with water. And this was the prototype for the work that is now presented at the Venice Biennale for Architecture. And that's the way it looks while printing. And I also used it to take digital frames, sketch them on the sand, take photos of them, and then in a loop, change it into a stop-motion animation. And I'll do the undone and show a commercial of a beverage company. This is a bus stop that was treated to become interactive, as you can see. of commercials, I'm going to have my first solo exhibition in December at the Hansen compound, and you're all invited.
Thank you, Liat. Thank you, Liat. Thank you very much. Our second maker for today is somebody who